Puck, did you think I wouldn't find you? The Miryang tragedy. Hello, everyone. Today, we're uncovering a deeply disturbing and heartbreaking story from South Korea that has haunted the nation for decades. It's a tale of betrayal, systemic failure, and resilience, brought back into the spotlight by a single YouTube video titled, "Puck, did you think I wouldn't find you?" This video, uploaded in 2024, exposed the shocking past of Puck, one of the key perpetrators of the infamous Miryang case. It sent waves of fury across South Korea, reigniting public outrage over the injustices suffered by Choi, not her real name, a young girl whose life was irreparably damaged by cruelty and a broken system. If you enjoy our stories, please hit the like button, share, and subscribe to our channel. When you hit the like button, YouTube will notify you whenever we upload a new video, and you will be the first to watch our video. Please support our channel and help us grow. We promise to keep bringing juicy stories to you. The script narrates the harrowing story of Choi, a young girl who suffers horrific abuse and betrayal while revealing the failures of the justice system in South Korea, ultimately sparking a public outcry and renewed demands for accountability. Now back to the story. Choi's childhood can be described as a shattered childhood. Choi was just 13 when her life turned into a nightmare. Her mother had left her abusive alcoholic father in a desperate attempt to protect herself and her children. However, the courts awarded full custody to Choi's father, cutting her mother out of their lives. Living under her father's roof was unbearable. He was volatile and violent, often taking out his frustrations on Choi. With her mother barred from contact and her father a source of constant fear, Choi had no one to turn to. The abuse continued unchecked until one day, Choi accidentally dialed the wrong number and ended up speaking to Puck, a high school boy from Miryang. Their chats over the next 6 months felt like an escape from her grim reality. So when Puck invited her and her younger sister to visit, she saw it as a harmless adventure. But this was no innocent invitation. It was a calculated trap. I hate to say this, but please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share, and comment. A big thank you for subscribing to our channel. The script narrates the harrowing story of Choi, a young girl who suffers horrific abuse and betrayal while revealing the failures of the justice system in South Korea, ultimately sparking a public outcry and renewed demands for accountability. You could say that it was a year of horror for Choi. When Choi and her sister arrived in Miryang, they were stranded for the night, unaware the last bus had already left. Puck and his friends offered to pay for a room, pretending to be caring and responsible. But that night, Choi was brutally assaulted by 12 boys. The attack was recorded, and the footage was used to blackmail her into returning again and again. The abuse lasted an entire year. Each time, Choi was subjected to unimaginable horrors, beaten with iron pipes and wooden sticks, humiliated and violated. Even her belongings and money were stolen, leaving her stranded and utterly helpless. Adding to her nightmare, the perpetrator's girlfriends found out about the assaults. Instead of intervening or reporting the crimes, they helped record the incidents, taunting Choi and mocking her suffering. The footage became another tool to degrade and control her. The script narrates the harrowing story of Choi, a young girl who suffers horrific abuse and betrayal while revealing the failures of the justice system in South Korea, ultimately sparking a public outcry and renewed demands for accountability. Choi had no one to turn to. At home, Choi's situation was no better. The perpetrators called her house, harassing her and threatening to expose the footage. When her father found out strangers were calling, he blamed Choi, accusing her of bringing shame to the family. He began beating her even more frequently, leaving her terrified and alone. For a year, Choi had no one to confide in. Her mother wasn't allowed contact, her siblings were powerless, and her father was her tormentor. It wasn't until her aunt, her mother's sister, noticed something was wrong that Choi finally opened up. The script narrates the harrowing story of Choi, a young girl who suffers horrific abuse and betrayal while revealing the failures of the justice system in South Korea, ultimately sparking a public outcry and renewed demands for accountability. Even the police that had sworn to protect Choi and her sister's identity betrayed them. What should have been the start of justice turned into another nightmare. The police mishandled the case spectacularly, driven by ulterior motives. The investigating officers saw the case as an opportunity to boost their careers, knowing that solving a high-profile case could earn them promotions. Instead of protecting Choi, they used her story to show off their success. In a press conference, they paraded their arrests of 44 boys as a significant victory. But in doing so, they released Choi's identity, revealing her name, age, and neighborhood, effectively destroying any chance she had at privacy or a normal life. Inside the police station, things were even worse. Male officers interrogated her for hours, blowing cigarette smoke in her face and forcing her to relive the trauma repeatedly. They interrupted her with degrading questions like, "Did you wag your tail first?" And, "If you didn't like it, why did you keep going back to Miryang?" When it came time to identify the perpetrators, the police ignored standard procedures. Instead of using a one-way glass, they marched all 44 boys in front of Choi, forcing her to point them out while they mocked and threatened her. This real-life story narrates the harrowing story of Choi, a young girl who suffers horrific abuse and betrayal while revealing the failures of the justice system in South Korea, ultimately sparking a public outcry and renewed demands for accountability. The judicial system was no better. Of the 44 boys arrested, 34 were immediately released because their assaults didn't meet the so-called special conditions for severe punishment. The remaining 10 were sent to juvenile court, where they received minimal sentences like community service. None served significant jail time, and all walked free without criminal records. The judges showed little concern for Choi's life, focusing instead on the perpetrators' futures. They dismissed her claims of coercion and blackmail, suggesting she willingly participated. One judge infamously stated, "You can't thread a moving needle," implying Choi hadn't resisted enough for the assaults to be considered forceful. Adding insult to injury, Choi's father struck deals with the perpetrators' families, accepting bribes in exchange for leniency letters. He forced Choi to sign these documents, claiming the boys were remorseful. In total, he received $35,000, which he spent frivolously, leaving Choi with nothing. This real-life story narrates the harrowing story of Choi, a young girl who suffers horrific abuse and betrayal while revealing the failures of the justice system in South Korea, ultimately sparking a public outcry and renewed demands for accountability. The case left Choi and her family in ruins. Unable to bear the shame, they moved to Seoul to start over. But even there, they couldn't escape the stigma. No school would accept Choi, fearing the negative attention. When one school finally admitted her, a perpetrator's mother tracked her down and demanded she sign another leniency letter. Terrified, Choi locked herself in the bathroom and dropped out within a week. For years, the Miryang case faded from public memory. But in 2024, Park reignited national outrage. He posted a picture online celebrating his daughter's 100th day, surrounded by luxury goods, with a caption expressing his pride and love. For 2 decades, The Miryang case remained a dark stain in South Korea's history. But in 2024, Park unknowingly reignited national outrage. He posted a picture online celebrating his daughter's 100th day, surrounded by luxury goods, with a caption expressing his love and pride. Furious netizens recognized him, and his comments section exploded with anger. This led a South Korean YouTuber to upload a video titled, "Park, did you think I wouldn't find you?" The video exposed Park's involvement in the Miryang case, and soon other YouTubers joined in, uncovering the lives of the other perpetrators. To the nation's shock, many were thriving, working prestigious jobs, driving luxury cars, and showing no remorse for their crimes. The public backlash forced authorities to reopen the case. Choi and her family filed a lawsuit against the police and the government for their mishandling of the investigation. After 4 years of legal battles, they were awarded $40,000, a small sum given the immense suffering, but a landmark case that held public authorities accountable. The reopened case also brought consequences for some perpetrators. Several lost their jobs and faced public humiliation. However, many continued to live comfortably, with some even mocking their crimes as youthful mistakes. Choi's story is a devastating reminder of the failures of justice and the resilience of survivors. It highlights the importance of protecting victims and holding perpetrators accountable, no matter how much time has passed. What are your thoughts on this case? How can societies better protect victims and ensure justice is served? Let's discuss in the comments. If you find this story powerful, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Thank you for watching, and let's keep the conversation going.